money stack.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? In a few minutes, I'm going to be joined by Stephanie Rosa. Stephanie is an entrepreneur in the festival industry. She is the founder of Festival Squad, co-founder of Festivate, and today we're going to be focusing on her newest project, the Dirty Drive-In series in Denver, which kicks off next week. Before we get started, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications for future Beat Stop videos. Enjoy.
Good to see you.
Likewise, another human face.
How are you surviving in this?
Oh my gosh, a lot better than the first 2 or 3 months. I feel like the first couple of months was like a cocoon, and June was just, I don't know, something clicked. I had my birthday, and I was just surrounded by friends and love, and I just got motivated again. So I'm feeling good. How are you?
Love it. Good. Probably more stressed and busy than I have ever been in a very long time. I'm probably like working somewhere near 18 or 19 hours a day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been wild, but I mean, totally worth it. Like, I'm complaining on one hand because I love to sleep, but then on the other hand, I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this project wouldn't exist if it weren't for COVID, you know?
Let's get right into it. So you're working on something super exciting, and I want to hear from you. What is this new thing that you're working on? Who's playing? Like, give me the spiel.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I am working on a series called Dirty Drive-In, which is a 4-part series here in Denver. And it's taking the drive-in model that's kind of been introduced, started in Europe like a couple of months ago, to practice social distancing, keep people safe with COVID, but still allow them to get out and have fun. You know, we're animals. Yeah. It's nice to be outside, and, you know, it's human nature to want to be with other people. So we want to be able to provide that experience, but in a really safe environment. And yeah, this series kicks off in exactly 1 week.
Yeah.
Here in Denver. It's about 20 minutes outside of the city. And we wound up, I mean, I can go into details as far as venues and stuff are concerned, but we wound up deciding to really focus on bass music. Number one, it's my favorite. I love bass music. And number two, you know, we're hosting in the bass capital of the world. So it just made sense to really focus on that. So our headliners include Peekaboo next Thursday, Dirt Monkey, who's local here in Colorado, a week after that, all on Thursdays. A week after that, we have E-Prom doing his audiovisual show, which I'm stoked about.
Oh, right.
And then we're closing it out with Goldfish and Break Science, which is super fun because Goldfish and Break Science are that, like, you know, feel good, kind of jammy electronic.
Very funky and dancey.
Yeah, and there's a huge, you know, Pretty Lights crowd out here. So we thought that would be really fun to kind of close out the 4-part series with that.
Yeah, I love it. That is a super stacked lineup, and Denver is really in for a treat. So I'm curious, how did this come to be? So you're involved with so many things. What levels of involvement are there across the things that is this like just you, Stephanie Rosa, throwing this, or is this a Festicket thing?
Yeah, so I'm incredibly lucky to have 4 other business partners on this project. You know, I've never stepped in the world of a promoter, and I've never, you know, gotten my hands into talent buying or production or anything that's needed to really get a festival or a concert off the ground. But the way that it came to be was, you know, I work full-time for Festicket, and I speak with business development managers that are overseas all the time. We were speaking 3 times a week, and we're cut down to like 1 or 2 times a week. And when everything was kind of shutting down, they started saying over there, you know, oh, this whole drive-in festival is popping up. And I'm like, drive-in festival? And they're like, yeah, you know, these cars are getting parked and this and that. And then it started hitting the internet. And all of a sudden it's this big thing, and people are going to these drive-in shows, and you see it and you're like, whoa. And I thought to myself, you know, based on trends that we've seen, we always see things happen over there and then they start to make their way here. So I'm like, this is coming to the US. So I started to whisper to one of my business partners, Tyler Fay, and I was like, you know, this thing is coming. Like, this model is coming over here. Like, are you going to get in on this? And he's like, no, I don't know. And then Mark Riboulet was the first person to announce a drive-in series or a drive-in tour here. And when he did that, he started in Texas. And I was like, Tyler, this is coming. This is going to start to be a thing out here. Like organizers need to figure out, artists want to play. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe, starting to come around a little bit more. Then we saw Disco Donnie launch his. And then I'm like, Tyler, we got to start doing this. And he's like, all right, I don't really have a lot of time on my hands, but if you can take on this project, I'll help you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, done. And then we wound up seeing the very first one here in Colorado. I went to that. It was awesome. And we were already in the planning phases by the time that one launched. And yeah, so now as far as everything that I'm doing, my primary focus is in marketing and ticketing, which is like really getting the tickets out there, making sure people know about it, setting up ads, managing an influencer program, making sure our tickets, our inventory looks good, working with these different, publications, managing giveaways, all that stuff. So it's just, I'm living, eating, breathing, sleeping these 4 shows.
Oh my gosh. And I feel like 2 things. So one, the concept is still brand spanking new. I mean, like I just saw footage from the 7 Lions drive-in in Arizona a couple of weeks ago. And once I saw that, I was sold. Because like I'm pretty open to new ideas, but I was like, I think I'm a visual person. I need to see what it is. And then once they hit that first recap video, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go to the first one in SoCal, which side note, it looks like we're going in the opposite direction as far as COVID progress. But once they do have one near, definitely going to head over there. Yes. And then I feel like you just announced this like 2 weeks ago, and now it went 0 to 11 like that.
Yes, you're exactly right. So I'll tell you that almost any possible thing to go wrong, we've experienced. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest one that we're still climbing a ladder with is our venue change. So we had a venue that was locked in, and it's the venue that everybody that has come to Colorado or thrown one of these, we had that one locked in, which is up in Fort Collins, about an hour and a half away. Okay. And they had their first dubstep show there, which was hosted by another promoter, Dom, here in Denver, big promoter, great show, but it definitely surprised the owners. They had no idea what hosting a dubstep show meant. And the next day they called and they were like, oh no. That is not coming back here. And I think it was just, we believe in the festival community of like freedom of expression. You get to wear what you want. You do what you want with your friends. Obviously like COVID guidelines are important in that regard, and mandatory, but I think it was a massive culture shock. They saw all kinds of things they had never seen before. And they started to put all these new rules in place, and after our contract was already signed, and we were like, we can't enforce a dress code, and we don't want to, like, this is our festival community. So it forced us to move. So we moved to the Mile High Flea Market, which I'm very excited about because it's a really cool venue, and we're in one of the massive parking lots, and it's really cool because they have a lot of food vendors and all that kind of stuff on site already, but our production costs have gone up quite a bit because now we're not working with a projector that's already on site, a screen that's already on site, some staffing that's already on site. We're basically building this thing from the ground up. But our team was like, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. We're making this a full-on drive-in festival. So that's what we're doing. So that's kind of what stopped us from announcing earlier. We were pretty much ready to go until that change.
I want to talk a little bit more about the experience. So, what can attendees expect both on, that entertainment experiential level and more importantly, that health and safety level that is just, it's a hot topic right now. So I'm curious what's in place.
So I want to say first and foremost, we are taking COVID incredibly seriously on many regards, both what ticket holders can expect to see coming in and the things that they're not going to see behind the scenes. We're taking it so seriously. First and foremost, we're going to be conducting temperature checks at the door. Anybody that is at 100.4 or above is going to be asked to go home. Their car can come in, but we are going to tell them that they're going to have to call an Uber and get a ride back into Denver. And obviously that's not something that we want to do, but that's something that we have to do just to make sure that this is safe and that the series can continue to run. On top of that, we're going to be conducting searches. We're going to make masks mandatory throughout the entire property. So you are going to be required to wear a mask. And we understand that some people feel like that's not what they want to do. But this is held on private property. We are making the rules, and we want to make sure that everybody on site feels safe. And in my personal opinion, wearing a cloth across your mouth, whether you believe it works or doesn't, is important to other people in the way that they feel. And we want to make sure that that's the case throughout. On top of that, we're going to be limiting the way that people are able to purchase food and beverage. We've been talking about a service where you can actually order and then you can get a text where you go to grab your things. So we're not creating lines. Merch will be sold as somebody's kind of walking around with it to kind of limit contact. We are also making sure that all of our backstage operations are kept really clean and sanitary. There's not going to be any sort of green room or anything like that for artists. They're going to be asked to keep inside of their hotel near the property and then come when they're ready. So creating those social distancing. We're also setting the entire space up like a checkerboard. So as a ticket holder, you will have a space open on each side of you and either in front or in back. So we're doing all of these things to make sure that everyone comes out of this feeling really good and feeling like they got a great experience, but that we're limiting any possibility of anybody, contracting COVID.
Yeah, I love that. I can tell it's a huge priority. And I feel like this genre, more than any other genre, is probably the easiest to enforce the mask thing, because I feel like
Ravers
have been doing that for a long time. Exactly.
Obviously this is a brand new thing. Is the idea for this to be the first series in others in the future, depending on how 2020 plays out, or is it too early to say?
Yeah, that's exactly it. With how things have been going well on our end, all the support that we've received, the tickets that we've sold, this is a model that we'd like to move forward with into next month. We're already in talks with venues on dates, including the one that we're at now. We're in talks with some great artists. We definitely want to diversify it too. We started with sort of bass music because that was something that I really pushed for, since that's what I love. But also, like I said, being local here in Denver, wanting to cater to this community and all that good stuff. But I think we want to really diversify it and get into a little bit of everything, rap, rock, country, and cater to the music community at large. For me, every single business that I've ever started in the space or worked on in the space, I've done it literally for the festival goer, and I say this sometimes too. I'm like, I'm doing it for the freaks like myself. I'm doing it for the black sheep. I'm doing it for the people that don't feel accepted. I'm doing it for the people that really feel like they don't belong, except in this community. And this is where people get a chance to release from the day-to-day grind, the hustle, everything that's going on in the world right now with social justice. We're really trying to create a space where they can let go, be free, and have a good time. And on that note too, one thing I wanted to mention is that we are doing a big component of every single one of these shows to social justice charities. So,
awesome.
Yeah. Here in Denver, we saw a lot happen just in Colorado in general and across the entire country, and the world spoke up. We've gotten a lot done with legislation, and it's important to continue to push forward and make change. So as far as our merchandise is concerned, we're doing 100% of the proceeds to a social justice charity. We're also allowing artists to step in and donate a part of the money that they're making for the show to a social justice charity of their choice, and we'll match it 100%. So that's a big initiative for us too.
I wanted to step away from the dirty drive-in and just talk about you for a couple minutes. You've always been this positive energy, whether it's my interactions in person with you or your personal brand. So I'm just curious, how are you coping with this crazy time that is 2020?
It's been good now, but I will be honest in that, when everything started happening with COVID, it really hurt. It was tough. It was tough for me to get out of bed in the mornings because I would wake up and think like, what festivals are getting canceled today, or what events are getting canceled. And I know that for some people it sounds silly, like, oh, well, who cares about festivals because there's so many other things happening. And I agree to some point, but I do think that so many people are a part of this community because it's important to their mental health. It strengthens their friendships. It strengthens the bond that they have with themselves. It allows them to be free, to be who they want to be. And watching these shut down just really hurt. And yeah, just waking up every day knowing that there was going to be more canceled and that people were just going to be absolutely crushed was hard. Knowing that people were dying from this was really tough too. You know, I know somebody personally that wound up in the hospital for almost a month, you know, because of it. And the way that it affects different people, like all of that was just soul crushing to say the least. And then we had everything take place with George Floyd, and that was incredibly tough as well, to see this video of this person, you know, getting brutally murdered in broad daylight on a camera. Like that was tough. But I've found that there's a lot of solace in really taking action and trying your best to align with what's going to work. So for a while I was aligning with a lot of live streams. I, you know, went out and was a part of the protests that were taking place here in Denver. So kind of aligned with that. And then donating money and time where I could. And then now with these drive-ins, making sure that we're creating a really safe environment against COVID, making sure that we are creating a really fun time for people, and then also giving back to charity. So I feel really good now about what I'm working on. I feel like I'm doing something to try to make a change in my own way.
That's so great. I feel like March, April, May was like this cocoon. And at least personally, June, like I said, something kind of just clicked, and I'm finding, like you said, solace in taking action.
And then lastly, what are the first shows or events you're looking forward to after quarantine?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am crossing my fingers for a Deja Vu for sure, because I had that scheduled for this year and it got canceled. So I was really looking forward to that. I was going with like a group of 50 friends. It was supposed to be great. And
oh my gosh.
I know. It's so sad. I'm also really Burning Man. That one hurt. You know, I've been burning for the past 5 years. This would have been my sixth. So that I'm really excited about. I've held on my ticket for Forest. And honestly, the first event that we get clearance on where it's like, it's going to be safe, it's okay, we've got a vaccine, you know, all these things, sign me up.
Everyone's going, regardless of the genre or lineup, whatever. I think we're coming up on time. So I, wanted to turn it over to you to plug your socials, website, Dirty Drive-In, ticketing, all that stuff.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you. If you guys would like to follow me, I'm at Sight, SIGHT, Sound, SOUND, Steph, STEPH. And I run Festival Squad, which you can type in Google, Festivate, work with Festicket, and then Dirty Drive-In. So anybody that is coming out, we're so excited to have you, and we can't wait to kick off this series.
I love it. Thank you again so much for your time, Stephanie. And good luck with the Dirty Drive-In. It sounds so exciting. I don't know if I'll be able to make it out to Denver, but I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on and keeping up with it.
Please. That sounds great.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you so much for watching that interview. I really hope you enjoyed that conversation with Stephanie. Don't forget to follow her on social media and check out the Dirty Drive-In. I'll put the links in the description below. Again, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for future videos, and I'll see you next time.